Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Wedding Wednesday. So it has been what a week it's been. It's been actually what a year so far. So it's been a lot of fun, busy, super busy. And I thought maybe we could just kind of take it a little bit from the planning for a little bit because I think everybody is feeling a little stressed out with planning and a little overwhelmed with all the steps and things that we need to do to make sure that we're ready for that big day. So let's talk about things that come after the wedding. And I think so. I'll just kind of give you a little back history on this conversation. So I was actually watching. I don't know if anybody watches that TV series Grace and Frankie or whatever it's called. Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. Hilarious, by the way. But anyways, my point is they were actually talking about this on there, and I thought it was kind of an interesting subject. So it's the post-nuptial depression, or I call it simply the after wedding hangover, and it happens to everyone, almost everyone. Okay, probably 95%. If it doesn't happen to you, you're lucky. So what is this post-nuptial depression, and is it a real thing? I mean, it's not a psychological condition. You probably don't need therapy for it, but it is a real thing, and it's real, and it's something that you should anticipate so that you're able to handle it if it happens to you. And I feel personally that planning a destination wedding only impacts on the chances that you are going to have something like this happen to you. So, what is it? It is a feeling after the wedding of just kind of a little bit of a letdown. And it's not something that is caused by having things go wrong on the wedding day. As a matter of fact, I was reading about this a while back in, I think it was the New York Post. And it says that even those that have had everything right, they did actually a study of a bunch of different couples. And after the wedding, even though they were completely satisfied with the wedding, they found that they were not feeling very happy after the wedding. So what happens here? We all know that it's hi Andrew, good to see you. We all know that the wedding planning process is stressful, it's busy, and it goes on for a really long time. So it actually becomes a habit. They say it takes 4 weeks to make something a habit. And when you are doing something as important as including this in your day, in your life for months, it becomes a habit to be extremely busy, to be thinking ahead, to be planning, to be looking for information, to be looking for ideas, and it becomes a part of your day. So part of the post-nuptial depression is caused by the fact that after the wedding happens, you're no longer busy. Or not as busy. I mean, we're all busy. Let's be real. But you're not as busy as you once were when you were planning the wedding. They're no longer having those planning meetings with your planner. You're not interviewing vendors. You're not signing agreements. You're not managing your money and your budget as much and as closely and those types of things. And it takes a big part of your day away. So it can be that. It's often an awful lot of that really, I think, contributes to that after wedding hangover that we call it, and just that feeling of just being really out of sorts. It's really normal, and it happens to everyone. The other thing that can happen is if you feel like maybe there was people that couldn't attend the wedding after all, even though that they had anticipated being able to when you started the planning process. Maybe you lost loved ones during the planning process, or maybe they were just unable to attend due to circumstances. I mean, it can leave you a little bit disappointed that they weren't there for you. Not for you in the way that they should drop everything and run to you, but just that they weren't able to share in your special time with you. And you probably feel bad for them because it was a wonderful time. So, I mean, there's that. There's always these kinds of things. So, how do we deal with this post-nuptial depression? Sorry, I dropped my pen. A couple things that I think right off the bat. The first thing is to just realize it's probably going to happen. So if you go into your wedding and your planning process knowing that this may become a little bit of something that happens to you, it's probably going to make it a whole lot easier for you to be able to handle it on the other side and go, okay, I know what I kind of expected this was going to happen. Feel a little bit blue, a little bit out of sorts, not really sure what to do with myself as I have all this free time. And that's kind of normal, and that'll help you a whole lot. What else can you do? Okay, keep it real. Even in the planning process, even our clients that seem to have an unlimited budget or have unlimited resources or ask us to source everything under the stars, there is still going to be that feeling of maybe I wanted something different, or maybe that wasn't exactly how I thought it was going to be in my head. So even though it turned out wonderful and you were thrilled and all your guests were saying, wow, I can't believe this is something I will remember forever, you have that component going on of, I wish that one thing went a little bit differently. And that often happens, especially in the best planned wedding and where nothing goes horribly wrong, because then it's almost like it was too perfect and you start looking for things. So that's something, just keep it real, right? Make sure that you realize that this is a process and it is something that's going to have an end result, and hopefully that end result is exactly the way you wanted it. But if not, if it's really close, it should be something that you're really happy about. So something else you can do, okay? Remember that the wedding is about your marriage. So even though that planning process is now done, we're complete with that, the next step is the marriage. So maybe shift your energies, right? You don't have all of those planned meetings, you don't have all those planning meetings, you don't have all those vendor consults and all that time on Pinterest board that you're working on any longer. But maybe you can shift that energy into something to do with the marriage. So maybe you guys want to take a class together. Maybe you want to do something a little bit different, right? Change things up in your life. So that's something to remember. It is about the marriage after all, not just about that one particular day. Embrace that non-busy, normal lifestyle again, because the wedding planning process, like I said, it can go on for months. It is a very busy time. And if you can get back into that feeling of just being able to enjoy those free moments where you have nothing better to do than nothing, read a book. It'll be fun. It'll be good for you. So now, the previous, I was just saying is fine. Maybe find something else that you're interested in doing. And then last thing I would suggest for you guys, if this is something that you're concerned of, that it might happen to you, or you want to take steps to try to mitigate the feelings a little bit, I would suggest planning your honeymoon for after the wedding. Okay, so don't start with your honeymoon. Maybe pick where you guys are wanting to go, but maybe take your honeymoon a little bit later after the wedding itself, so that you have something to dive back into when you get back into reality and the wedding is done, it's come and gone, the thank you cards are sent, everything is now relaxing, and you're starting to get that little sense of that bit of post-nuptial depression. Now it's time to start planning that honeymoon. So you've picked your location during the planning process, but maybe what we need to do is now start planning the excursions, the sightseeing, how you're going to get there if you haven't booked your travel, if you're going to travel, wherever it is that you are, your in-destination travel, and all of those types of things. So that can be something that helps you to kind of get to that next step as well. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you don't experience this, but if you do, it's better to be forewarned, right? Thank you so much for joining us for Wedding Wednesday as well. Just wanting to make sure that everybody knows we've got a bunch of ballots going on here for our free $500 US giveaway. It's drawn once a quarter, and it is a cash prize. You do not have to use it in conjunction with any wedding planning at Destination Dream Weddings. There's no purchase necessary. But if you are looking to have a destination wedding and you are thinking about destination Dominican Republic, Mexico, Canadian Rocky Mountains, or Thailand, give us a shout. Let us know what you're looking for. Let's have a free consultation and see how we can help you, and we can give you some ideas and suggestions, and then your name is entered into our draw to be drawn once a quarter for that free 5,000 US dollar giveaway. So I hope to see you next Wednesday. We will be coming to you from the beautiful island of Dominican Republic next Wednesday. In March, we're going to be in the Canadian Rocky Mountains. So stay tuned, have a fantastic day, and take good care. Bye-bye.